When is enough enough? When is enough enough? So many fourth quarter leads blown in the last 2 minutes. I don't think any Saints fan was surprised by the outcome of the Saints loss to the Atlanta Falcons 26-24. Nobody's surprised, and I'm sick and tired of it. Let's get into it. I'm smiling right now, y'all. But right now, the Saints are 2-2, third place in the NFC South. And yes, we just lost to the Atlanta Falcons. I just have a lot of questions. Just a lot of questions, and maybe you all, if you're watching, you can comment and answer these questions. Maybe you have these questions as well. Because right now, man, I'm just not happy right now, man. Like, for example, first question. New Orleans Saints had so much success running to the left side against Dallas and the Carolina Panthers using the left side of their offensive line. They were able to get huge chunk plays, 6-7 yards at a time in the first 2 games of the season. However, for some reason, Clint Kubiak insists on running to the right side of the offensive line, getting 1 yard, negative yards, negative 2 yards, negative 3 yards. That's a question for me. Why Paulson Adebo, who is in good coverage most of the time? He's rarely ever burned, but he's in great coverage most of the times, and he doesn't take his hands off the receiver, giving them free yards, free chunk plays. I mean, free points every time by getting called for a pass interference. That's a question for me. Why does the offense fall apart just based on one player, Taysom Hill? We know how explosive, how special Taysom Hill is, but the offense shouldn't completely fall apart when one player leaves. That's a question for me. And the New Orleans Saints seem to have left us all with questions right now as they lost to the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, why Rashid Shaheed would try to field a ball inside the 5-yard line? That's a question. But I ain't gonna hate on my boy Rashid Shaheed. He made up for it. Him or Chris Olave were making plays, making catches, getting open, and giving Derek Carr targets to throw the ball to. And both of those guys are elite. So no, I'm not gonna harp on the Rashid Shaheed first quarter blunder. It's just not gonna happen for me. But the New Orleans Saints do have a tendency to give points away to the other team. But I will say that New Orleans Saints had plenty of opportunity to shut Atlanta down way after that. I mean, the offense was rolling. I mean, it's just frustrating right now. It's frustrating right now because the Saints came into the season with not much expectation. I'm gonna be honest with you. As a Saints fan, I didn't have much expectation for the team. But after the first 2 games of the season, I seen their potential, and once again, my heart is ripped out because they're just not meeting expectations. It's just not happening. I mean, it's just frustrating, man. It's just frustrating. I believe that, honestly, right now, the Kansas City Chiefs game is a must-win for the team, for Who Dat Nation, for all intents and purposes. The Kansas City Chiefs game next week is a must-win. But let's get back to the Atlanta Falcons game. The New Orleans Saints, I'm just struggling to understand what this team is. And I feel like we've been asking this question the last 2 years. What is the 2024? Who are the 2024 New Orleans Saints? Who is Derek Carr? What is Derek Carr? We know what Alvin Kamara brings. We know what Chris Olave brings. We know that Rashid Shaheed is a growing wide receiver. We know what he brings. We know what Demario Davis brings. And we know what the New Orleans Saints defensively, for the most part, bring. But who are the 2024 New Orleans Saints? Are they a contender? Are they a pretender, as Chauncey Gardner-Johnson said? But right now, they're living up to the pretender expectations. And as New Orleans Saints fans, we can't be mad. We can't be mad at the Atlanta Falcons. We can't be mad at the Philadelphia Eagles, who just got their butts handed to them by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We don't know who this team is. And this team has to figure it out, because this team should be 4-0. Couldn't say that last year. But this New Orleans Saints team should be 4-0. It's frustrating. I'm ranting right now. I don't even have a coherent thought right now. But the New Orleans Saints should definitely be 4-0. I mean, Derek Carr under pressure in the Philadelphia Eagles game. But this game, his protection was a little bit better. A lot better, I'd say. And Derek Carr was able to make the plays when the protection was there. Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, they're good wide receivers. They get open, they make plays. I mean, Chris Olave is catching the ball with his hands. Rashid Shaheed's finding open spaces. Although we kind of are harping on Rashid Shaheed's early first quarter blunder, I mean, you can't really fault the wide receivers. And I wouldn't even say that you could fault the offense entirely for this week's performance. But what I will say is the Saints find ways to lose. You know, I go to my family's house in New Orleans all the time, and they always say something about the Saints that they find a way to lose. And this was a game that represented that. And it's frustrating as a New Orleans Saints fan, knowing that you have to go into Kansas City next Monday night and get the win against the defending champs. And that's easier said than done. And I think right now, as a Saints fan, the questions must lie in who is this team? I'm just frustrated. Because how can the loss of Taysom Hill create that much chaos for the offense, who was rolling on the first two possessions? I mean, looking great. And they probably would have went up. It probably wouldn't have been their first three possessions because Taysom Hill has that much of an impact. But why does he have that much of an impact? Why, when he's out, is the offense a completely different offense? And we know what Taysom Hill is, and I'm not diminishing his role because I know what the Swiss Army knife is. But I'm just a little confused right now. Like, what is Clint Kubiak doing? The only players that are really stepping up, and I wouldn't even say Derek Carr is playing bad. I would just say that it just seems like the New Orleans Saints right now don't have an identity. If one player goes out, it seems like they miss their whole identity. I know that happens from time to time, but it just seems like there's confusion a lot going on the offense. The Saints are still trying to figure everything out, and maybe we were wrong, and maybe the Carolina Panthers win and the Dallas Cowboys win were arbitration, we're just random flukes. You know what I'm saying? Because the New Orleans Saints have went back to exactly what they looked like last year, just good enough to lose. And I don't like saying that as a Saints fan. It hurts me to say that as a Saints fan, but we need to see more. With a quarter of the season now done, the New Orleans Saints, we need to see more. We need to see more from this team. We need to see more from coaching, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We need to see more in clutch situations from our defense, being able to get stops, being able to be fundamental, being able to be disciplined. We need to see more. And I think the Saints can step up to that. So there is hope there. And the Saints look better than we thought they would look going into the season. But at this point, now that we have seen more, we expect more. And so the New Orleans Saints just have to be better. We have to see them get the win Monday night. I don't care if it's the defending champs. And we can't see them lose to self-inflicted wounds. I believe the New Orleans Saints can get it done. I'm just kind of frustrated, just ranting, just venting. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching the show. I don't even know if I said a coherent thought in this video, but what I want to say is, who are the New Orleans Saints in 2024? We're about to find out for the rest of the season. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm just venting, y'all. We all feeling the fresh emotion right now. Remember to stay focused. Remember to, and I heard this statement about 2 weeks ago. Remember to express yourself and don't worry about results. Whether you're starting a business, whether you're having conversation, whether you're at work, remember to express. Remember to create that business. Remember to create that art. Remember to write that book. And don't worry about the results of what people will think or what people will say or how it will impact or not impact. Don't worry about that. Just express and then take your hands off the things that you can't control, as we saw Cam Jordan tweet after the game, which is something that we feel for him right now, as he's been placed as a second string defensive end for the team. Cam, Father Time, beats everybody, but he is an impact player, and we just got to see more impact plays in general from the New Orleans Saints. But thank you guys for watching. I want to shout out my boy from TikTok, Season.Football. His TikTok is Season SZN.NFL0 for all football content. If you're a football fan, if you like football, if you like sports, man, if you just like seeing entertainment on the sports front, follow his TikTok page. I'm gonna put the text down below what his TikTok name right here. Remember to like, follow him, man. He's dope, man. I appreciate him for subscribing to the channel, and I just wanted to shout him out because I told him if you subscribe, man, I'll shout you out, man. Shout out his TikTok, man. He got good content up there, man. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We all trying to grow the family right here, and I appreciate him being part of the family, and I'm definitely a part of his. But thank you guys for watching. Peace.